Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me this time? Please.
I can hear you.
Okay, that's exciting.
Oh, that's much better.
Let's see if this will work. Zooming around. Now, let me see if people start to come in, whether it's gonna dump me out again. Joy for a second. What was Here I am again. I think it's just unstable. I'm so sorry. So sad.
I know.
So I'm just gonna wait a couple minutes here because if people are trying to come back in, it might jump me back out, and when it jumps me out, it moves, which is. And I'm gonna make Susie the co-host again, so that she can help me as well. Wait, where did she go? There she is. Susie, do you hear me?
I do. I'm the big
Okay.
SD.
Yeah. So I made you co-host. And can you tell, let's see. What happens is every time if it dumps me out again, you won't be able to be the co-host anymore. It's just, I have to start over from the beginning and then I'm muted. So let me see what's gonna happen and we'll do something here. Oh, well, it's not a perfect world.
No.
So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my spot and I'll keep coming forward if need be. The point is that right now you can hear me, that I'm glad to know. And I'm going to see if it'll spotlight my video. Yeah, that's good news. So it wouldn't do that before. Okay, so you can see my spot and you can see me and you can hear me. Hurrah! Let's give it a roll. I'll tell Sarahjoy. Okay. Let's begin. See what happens, okay? If for some reason you don't hear me, it's really helpful if someone can tell me that. Or if Susie's able to still be the co-host, she'll unmute me.
Lynn, I can hear you but not see you.
Oh, you can't see me. Is that the same for other people? You can't see me?
I can see you.
I can see you.
I can.
Okay.
Not perfect, but it's definitely visible. And your sound sounds really good right now from where I'm at.
Okay. All right. Well, we can always teach just from the verbal. I can do that for you. So take a comfortable seat. We'll just take a short little sit at the beginning just to get grounded again. You're welcome to close your eyes and connect to the earth. Because the earth, we need the earth. Lengthen your spine. And deepen your breath. Taking that, again, a balanced breath, either Ujjayi breathing or the balanced inhale and exhale. And notice where you feel your breath in your body. I read Gaylord Nelson, who was one of the founders of Earth Day. And what he had said 50 years ago was, our goal is not just an environment of clean air, water, and scenic beauty. The objective is an environment of decency, quality, and mutual respect for all human beings and all living creatures. So bring your hands together in front of your heart. This honoring, as you bring the hands together, notice the two palms touching each other. Again, notice the ground beneath you. And this morning, I'm going to chant the sound of Om. You're welcome to join me. Take a deep inhale. And with your next exhale, you can bow your head towards your heart. Release your hands. Lift your gaze. And let's take a simple twist right now. So inhale the arms halfway. Exhale, twist to your right. Deep inhale in the twist. And then exhale, come back to center. Inhale the arms halfway again. And exhale, twist to your left. And inhale while you're there. And your exhale, come back to center. And I want to do a side bend as well. So inhale, lift your left arm. Reach into the left sit bone. Root all the way down, lengthen all the way up through your left side body. Exhale, start to side bend toward your right, keeping your left sit bone grounded, lengthening all the way through your side. Breathing deeply, and inhale, come back up. And exhale, release that arm. Take a deep inhale. And a complete exhale. Inhale, lift your right arm. Exhale, side bend toward your left. Rooting down through the right sit bone, lengthening through the right side body. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, release your arms. Okay, let's take a breathing practice. We can do it seated. So you can, and it's going to be an inhale and exhale out the nose. Inhale, you'll raise the arms overhead, straight up towards the sky. And exhale, pull the arms back down. Ready? And the next time you come down, you can rest the hands in your lap. Take a deep inhale through the nose, retain the inhale. And then you'll exhale completely. Another deep breath in through the nose. And exhaling back out through your nose. All right. So let's come over to all fours. You're going to come over into table pose. And in your table pose, I'm going to take a deep inhale, exhale up into cat. And you're reaching all the way into the finger pads and the knuckles. And even with the inhale, as you let the pubic bone go between the inner thighs and the top of the breastbone lifting, you're still reaching into the crown. Exhale, cat. Inhaling, cow pose. Notice the movement of the pelvis and the lifting of the heart. Reaching into the ground, so you're still strong in the arms. And you feel the tops of the shins as you move one more time through cat. And also cow pose. And one cat. And then you're going to come to table. And exhale, right leg back. Open the back of the right knee. Reaching strongly into the finger pads and knuckles. Match it with the left leg, plank pose. Deep breathing like you were doing at the beginning of class when you were in sitting. So breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, pressing firmly into the finger pads and knuckles, and toning the adductors. The inner thighs are toned. Another deep breath in, and then with your exhale, you're gonna lightly touch the knees down. Then you're gonna either step the hands forward for puppy, or lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Whether you chose puppy or downward dog, I want you to strongly reach. Shoulder blades are reaching toward the upper arm bones. You're reaching towards your finger pads and your knuckles. And your pubic bone is releasing between the inner thighs. So if you find that you're pulling the pubic bone towards your belly button, release your pubic bone, take it back behind you. Another deep inhale, and then go ahead and walk your hands towards your feet. So even if you're in puppy, walk the hands toward the knees. And you're gonna come around, there you are, and take the hands up on the hips, shoulder blades toward your waist, and then come all the way back up to standing. Great. Yay. Okay. So in standing, inhale, lift both arms up alongside your ears. So you're in upward hands pose. Arms are all the way up. Another deep inhale, lengthening all the way through the fingers. Exhale, hands back in front of the heart. Again, inhale, lift both arms. Reaching into the ground, lengthening up towards the sky, and hands back in front of the heart. One more time. And then exhale, bringing the hands back together. Good. Release both arms. Can you take one of your blocks, if you have a block, and you're going to bring the block between the inner thigh. So now you're going to either, you're going to want either a chair, 2 more blocks, a piece of furniture, your ball, something like that. I'm going to use the chair because you're going to take Uttanasana with the block between the inner thighs. So I want you to squeeze the block and bow forward towards the seat of the chair, a counter, so that when you're holding the block and tone the inner thigh. So you're toning middle inner thigh, upper inner thigh. And notice when there's tone at the inner thigh, what's happening at the back of the pelvis. Both legs are straight. So the inner thigh can be toned from the middle of the inner thigh and the upper inner thigh, and the pelvis is still moving back behind you. What I want is for us to learn a little bit more about how the adductors, the inner thigh muscles, can help us in regards to some of the space in our hip joints. Then we're gonna come back up to fingertips. If your hands are on some surface, shift the hands to the hips and come all the way back to standing. Then you can take your block out from between the inner thighs and set it off to one side. And then we're gonna take a wide stance for warrior 2. So step the feet wide apart. Turn your right foot out and turn your left toes in. Inhale, take the arms out. And exhale to warrior 2. And on the back leg in warrior 2, right above your left knee, on the inner thigh, tone the left, that inner thigh back there. So there's a lot of strength. Keeping that stable, so the front inner thigh is lengthening, the back inner thigh is toned. Relax your back arm, and inhale, lift the front arm. Come back to warrior 2. Did you lose the tone at the back inner thigh? Can you still find it? And then turn the palms to the sky. Inhale, lift the arms, straighten the front leg. And then relax both arms. Spin the feet the other direction. Inhale the arms out wide. And exhale again, warrior two. So on the front inner thigh, the middle of that adductor, the middle of those big muscles that are coming down toward the knee is lengthening toward the knee. But on the back inner thigh, I want it to be strong. So on your back leg, that inner thigh is toned all the way to the thigh bone. Inhale, rising. Keep the back inner thigh toned. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Make the feet parallel. Exhale, release both arms. We're going to take a wide-legged forward fold. So if you know you need blocks, bring them around to the side of your mat. So they'll be out in front of you. Oh, thank you. Okay. So hands are up on the hips. Lift the top of the breastbone. Inhaling, and as you exhale, bow forward. So as you're bowing forward, you feel there goes the pubic bone, the pelvic moving between the inner thighs. Bring the hands down. So you're going to bring the fingertips, walk the fingertips back a bit, either on blocks or the ground so they're back towards your feet. Move the inner thighs back, sit bones wide apart, arms straight. Straight arms. Lift the top of the breastbone. And then bring a little more strength into the inner thigh muscles, that whole group. Inhale in deeply. And then with your next exhale, go ahead and bow forward. Then you're going to walk the hands back out and shift them up onto your hips and come all the way back to standing. Step or hop your feet back to center and standing in mountain pose. So let me just do just a little anatomy piece in regards to the inner thigh muscles, the adductors, just for this moment. Just to remember that they're going from your pubic bone all the way to your sit bone. And they come down in like a V shape all the way to the knee. So they're wrapping all the way around between the pubic bone and the sit bone. I'm going to get the little model, or you can find that on yourself from your pubic bone all the way to your sit bone, those adductor muscles. All right, so we're going to take, and when I say tone them, I'm saying draw them towards the thigh bone. So when you're toning them, you might be pulling them in towards the thigh bone. All right, we're going to take side angle. So you're going to take 1 or 2 blocks at your right outer shin. Inhale, lift your arms. And exhale, Parsvakonasana, side angle. So the front inner thigh is lengthened. And on the back leg, as you draw that adductor towards the thigh bone, do you feel how that helps you open through your left side body? That's the side of the body that's up towards the sky. Then we're going to inhale, come all the way up. And spin your feet the other direction. So a block or something at the outer left ankle. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, Parsvakonasana, side angle. So even as the pelvis moves away from the front inner thigh, it's pointing towards the back leg. Front inner thigh long, back inner thigh toning towards the thigh bone. And then we're going to inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, make the feet parallel. Step your feet back together. Inhale, lift both of your arms. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Hands can come to blocks or the ground, but I'd like your legs to be straight. Inhale halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way back up. Arms can reach overhead. Exhale, hands back and onto the mudra. All right, we're going to step the feet apart again for triangle. So you might want to block or a chair seat or something. You're going to spin right foot out, left foot in slightly. Block at the outer shin of the forward leg. Inhale the arms out. And exhale to triangle. So both legs are straight. You could have the left hand on the hip. So on the front leg, on the front inner thigh, tone the inner thigh, that whole adductor that's coming from between the pubic bone and your sit bone, all the way down to your knee. Tone that all the way towards that bone. And notice what that does when you draw the adductors, when you tone the adductors. See how that changes how the weight is going through your whole leg, your hip joint. And keep that toned as you turn the top of the breastbone, the heart up towards the sky. Back inner thigh also, both of them. Both of them are strong. You might reach the arm to the ceiling. And so as they're strong, that doesn't mean that the pelvis needs to be held tightly. Then we're going to inhale, come up. Exhale, release, and spin your feet the other direction. Take your block with you. When you're ready, take the arms out. And exhale, triangle pose on the second side. So the pelvis is pointing towards the back leg. The front inner thigh gets longer in order for the pelvis to move back. Strong on the back inner thigh. Turn the chest towards the sky. And maybe reach the arm up. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, release the arms, great. Make the feet parallel, hands up on the hips. Bow forward, you're gonna come all the way down, but take the arms into downward dog arms. You could be on finger pads or palms. Hands can be on blocks or the ground. Balance the weight between the heel and the ball of your foot. Deep breathing, please. Deep breath in. Complete exhale. Couple more breaths like that. 3 more inhale and 3 more exhale. Can you feel the pelvis releasing, the pubic bone going back? Still feel your heels on the floor? Then you'll walk the hands back and shift the hands to your hips. And inhale, come all the way back up. Step your feet back together. And stand in mountain pose. And then we're going to come down to, we're going to do a half virasana. So you'll come to the floor. And if you need to put, roll something up under the ankles, or maybe sitting, I'm going to go sideways to show you. I'm going to put a block between my inner thighs, hands on my calves, and then sit on my block. I'm going to tilt this down so you can see better. So my knees are together. My heels wide apart as I sit down on my block. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bring the right foot forward. So now you've got the left leg in Virasana and the right foot on the ground. I'm going to turn the other face forward to see you. You're going to be turning towards the foot on the ground. You might need a second block. You have the right foot on the ground, left leg back, or whichever setup you've got. You're going to twist towards the forward leg. Twist towards the foot on the floor. If this isn't comfortable, you could always have the other leg straight. And then we're going to come back to center. And we're going to switch sides. So if sitting in Virasana leg with one isn't comfortable, just take that leg straight. And you can put a little support under the knee if you hyperextend. And then we'll have the block off to your left or the same side as your foot is on the floor. Lengthen up through the crown. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, you're twisting toward your left. and then you're going to exhale and come back to center. Great. You can come off of that block. And I was going to have us come into Anatasana, which is also called serpent pose. Some of you might want a little padding under the outer hip. So if you lie down on your left side, so you can have the left outer hip on your blanket. You're going to take your left hand behind the skull and lengthen your left upper arm elbow out. Oh, I wonder if you need a strap. Some of you might need a strap on this one. Maybe I need to show it to you, but what you're going to do, you're lying on the left side, and on this bottom leg, the left leg, you're going to tone that inner thigh straight down towards the bone, bend your right knee, and either with the strap, you're going to lasso your foot or take your fingers and grab onto the big toe. So the bottom leg, that inner thigh is toned right now. And I'm also want to allow my hand on the back of the skull to let it take the chin towards my chest. So I'm in a long line. And then we'll exhale, release. We're going to take the second side. So rolling over to the other side. Some of us like to have a little padding under the outer hip. That's on the ground. The right hand goes under the base of the skull and the right elbow out. And so here's a long line. So there's a little tone that you need through the abdominals, also which are connected to the inner thigh, fascially connected. So tone the right inner thigh, bring the left knee up. So right inner thigh strong. Lasso your foot with your strap or grab your big toe and take the left leg up. Back of the neck is long. You're releasing from on the back of the left hip. You're releasing that on the sacrum down towards the sit bone. Releasing the back of the lifted leg, hip, and sacrum. Make it long. Right inner thigh is strong. Very strong and long. I'm actually reaching through my leg that's on the ground. And then exhale, release. Great. Now roll onto your back. And take Supta Padangusthasana. So you're going to grab onto the ankles or shins, bring the soles of the feet toward each other. So the elbows or forearms are on the inner part of the inner thigh. So you're lengthening the inner thigh away from the pelvis. The sacrum is on the ground. And then can you turn this into like dead bug or happy baby. So you're gonna just take the lower legs toward the sky. Relaxing and resting through the back body. Sacrum is still, the upper sacrum is still on the ground. Then let's bring the knees toward each other. Hug them in. Inhale them an arm's length away. Exhale, hug them back in. Do that 3 more times. With your inhale, you're making space. And with the exhale, you're hugging the legs. Lengthening through the back body. Great. And then let's bring the feet to the ground. Let's just take one more twist. So there's the back of the head, pelvis, feet on the floor. That's all centered. Pick up the hips, shift them a couple inches to the left, straighten the right leg. And you have your left foot at the top of the right knee, and you're twisting all the way over. So now you're on the top of the right thigh again. Even though the back of the left shoulder is on the ground. And on the right leg, make the right inner thigh strong so that it's reaching all the way towards the thigh bone. And then we'll come back to center. You come all the way back to center, both feet on the floor. Bring the pelvis back to center. And then take your left leg long. Right foot comes just above the left knee as you start to twist over towards the top of your left thigh. Back of the right shoulder stays grounded. And the inner thigh of the left leg strong. Strong left inner thigh. Left leg is straight. Back to center. Both feet on the floor. The pelvis is back, lined up with the shoulders, the back of the head. Now take both arms, reach them overhead, palms up to the sky. And with an inhale, you're gonna just do a little pelvic tilt. So the pubic bone comes between the inner thighs. And on the exhale, you're gonna lift the pubic bone back up towards the belly button. So just moving a little bit through your low back with the arms up overhead. There's 2 more. And then you can bring the arms back down. And you might put the legs could either go up on the chair or a piece of furniture, or maybe you take the legs out long on the ground, but you're coming towards Shavasana. And allow your breath to deepen. And again, I'll read you Gaylord Nelson's, one of the founders of Earth Day, which was yesterday. Our goal is not just an environment of clean air, water, and scenic beauty. The objective is an environment of decency, quality, and mutual respect for all other human beings and all other living creatures. So you begin to bring movement back to your body. And once again, we're reminded that we are nature as well. Bending your knees one at a time and making a transition over to one side. Using the support of your arms as you press yourself back to sitting. Bringing your hands in front of your heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your patience as we navigate technology. But, you know, we can still do a great practice. It just shows we don't have to have, you know, it's just any amount of time of practice is a valuable amount of time. So we don't always have to have 90 minutes or an hour even. We can do a really good practice in any length of time. So you're welcome to unmute, or you can turn your video on if you had it off. If you want to say hi, that's okay. Thank you, Susie, for helping me.
You're welcome. I practiced with you, so thank you. It was really good.
You're there. Great. Good. I'm glad. Thank you. Any questions about the inner thighs? Hi, Susan. Yay. Yay for yoga.
Lynn, regarding the inner thigh, this is Ellie.
Yeah.
It was interesting because I felt like I didn't know how to find exactly that connection and the tone, but I found that even with the little effort I was making, it shifted the pose in the way that, you know, I found more opening in triangle. So thank you.
Wonderful. Yeah. Tomorrow I might do a little bit more with the inner thigh, and I'll add in a couple pieces that maybe will help us landmark them a little better, you know, in our own bodies. And so we'll do a little adductor anatomy just in the beginning, briefly.
Right.
Yeah. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yes. Good. Thank you for sticking with it, even through, you know, the little technical difficulties. It's okay. They happen. They happen, but it looks beautiful. So I hope each of you have a lovely day.